Uh-oh, cold open.
Yeah, cold open. Uh-oh, cold open. Folks, it's Greasy Conversation. Let me tell you officially. Hold on a moment. That's right.
I made it.
We made it. It's Greasy Conversation. Welcome, folks that stuck around for Petro. Just before us is awesome. Check them out if you missed them this time. Tune in early next time. We want to get you guys on healthy habits today. And that healthy habit would be to listen to RadioVegas.rocks all throughout the day leading up to our new slot on Sunday. We're nestled in on this day so that you can have like a magical all live day. And so tune in early next time and stay late and stay kicking it. RadioVegas.rocks action. Okay, so but here today, you know, it's time for that submarine of knowledge.
That's right.
Yeah, we're back. We're doing Greasy Conversation on a fresh slot for folks surprised by our new presence. Welcome. We've got hot takes in the news. We've got our buddy Josh here today that we met recently and dragged onto the show.
Hi, how you doing?
Let's toss you. Let's see if well, I probably could be. I think I'm too quiet. I'm coming at you louder now. All right.
All right.
That's how we doing.
All right. This is the perfect way to start off any show, any Sunday, anything you're doing. Is with something like this. Man on a plane. He's flying from Hong Kong. No, from China, from Guangzhou, China to New York. All right. Halfway through the flight, they're still about 6 hours out from New York. Has a bloated stomach and is sweating profusely, kind of starting to complain. And luckily, there's a doctor on board, right, who figured out what was wrong.
MacGyvered a syringe and stuff.
Yeah, but
which didn't work.
the dude's, I guess,
jokes.
urinary tract was blocked, so he couldn't take a piss to get rid of the urine, so it was just filling up in his bladder. So the doctor has to like stick a straw and like make some incisions and stick a straw into his bladder basically and like suck the urine out
Whoa.
with his mouth, right? Yeah. And eventually like, and I'm sure it's probably similar to like siphoning gasoline, like once you get it going.
It just starts going.
Yeah, so and he's like, "Give me a cup," and it ended up filling. It was like 1.5 pints total of urine that he
Into a
extracted.
wine bottle.
Yeah, into a wine bottle.
Hopefully the doctor had steady hands.
Yeah.
I know, right? Man, just there's a nice video of it, like him just yeah.
We're not playing the video.
No one wants to see him suck urine out of a dude's stomach. No. All
Here's a
right.
still
It's actually on
photo
my search
for you.
history at home.
Yeah, right. Oh no, I love it. Every time someone has to suck urine out of someone else's bladder, I'm
With my coffee in the morning.
yeah. That's oh man.
See, it could have been worse if he had to go down the urethra. That would have been.
Oh God, yeah.
At least he knew where to cut too.
Right.
Any day we're starting off with the word urethra. We've got a great show already.
Right. All right. That's
So fire pick from Ange Kerfoot, our correspondent that picked most of the news in this episode. So you know who to blame.
I'm
But
loving
yeah.
it so far. I mean, that's
Excellent.
a great news story to start off with.
Well
yeah,
done.
we usually
I feel
start
more
off
educated now.
Yeah, we usually start off with some lighthearted,
Yeah.
real people in, and then
And next time I'm on a plane and somebody complains of some pains, I'm just gonna go straight to that. No, I saw this.
Yeah.
I know
This is
exactly what
definitely
to
your
do.
I'm not a doctor, but this is definitely your problem, and I'm gonna
Right.
do this for you.
This is how we deal with this.
Yeah. It's
Trust
like,
me,
no,
I
it's
was
just
on a podcast once.
it's just right. Oh man. All right. And then this story, I don't know if people are aware, but apparently there's a lot of gay penguins.
Yeah, I didn't know that species like that happened with Extra, or is it just like we just notice it more with them?
No, I think it happens more with penguins, or it seems more common.
What if
with
they're just
penguins.
being oppressed, so we're just noticing them extra now because they
Yeah,
had
that
been
could be.
hidden for so long?
That could be. But apparently this pair of gay penguins went around snatching eggs. It was at this Dieren Park Amersfoort Zoo in the Netherlands, of course. But this pair of gay penguins are swiping eggs from heterosexual penguin couples and then trying to hatch their eggs. which I'm sure they could do. It's not, you know.
I feel like they
That's a
wouldn't
lot.
feel forced to do this if they had a social system in place where these penguins could adopt.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
It
right.
comes back to repression and these poor birds
There's
getting, yeah, their society doesn't like have the proper.
tools in place for this.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, see, there's a lot of gray area for such a black and white bird, though.
Damn, nice. All right. And then I don't know, have you? Because I know you're always in this. If something's like a staged kind of social media.
Is this about
Think
the
about-
penguin? Do I think the penguin is staged?
No.
Okay, because no, I think this is a real issue. in
Yeah.
this
Oh no,
penguin
it's
society.
it's a very real issue.
If we could let them vote, if we could just, that's the issue
Well,
too.
we're
That's-
jumping the gun.
If they could just be allowed to drive.
Oh, now they got to drive now.
If penguins, this fact that there's no cars for penguins until we up and expect them to build their own cars, I think this is a problem with a lot of animals in society, is that we're expecting them to eventually come to our level and build their own vehicles for them when we should be building vehicles for the animals because we're already on that vehicle tip. We should be like the rats with
Self-driving.
cars. Have you seen the car driving rats?
Oh yeah, those are pretty great. Well, what?
They probably drive better than some Las Vegas people.
For sure.
Oh yeah.
Sorry to because we
No
did
doubt.
talk about this a previous episode, but we've got some new people here because of the new time slot, and this makes my point so strong that there's these scientists that made these little cars for rats, and see how the rats are driving around, and the rats that had their other, I'm gonna butcher the actual purpose of this because the takeaway was that these rats were like happier being able to drive. Like they bonded with their vehicles and stuff. But these were the ones that had like a good like home life. They had nature and
Yeah, it was
toys
probably
and
like
stuff.
recreation. Yeah.
Yeah, so the rats that didn't have like nature and toys and friends, they didn't take to the driving as much. They were like grumpy city
And
people.
they're miserable.
Yeah.
That's yeah. Don't want any
What
more
would-
crazy rats on the road.
Look at his good driving. It's just really. Hey, if you're willing to pop up in another window and YouTube, greasy conversation, spelled like you'd expect, all one word, then you can pop in and take a look at this with us. Also, is one way, and also RadioVegas.rocks has a YouTube that you can pop a like, ring the bell. Anyway, so driving rats.
Do you think like animal cars would look like things like we think are related to the animal? Like if we made cars for birds, like would they be bird houses or bird cages, or would it?
Or
would it
that'd
a
be
totally-
demeaning.
If Tesla made them, it could be all over the place. If you see the new cars that they're coming out with.
Yeah, see, Tesla
Oh,
could do
yeah.
it right. I feel like after a generation of bird cars that look like, oh, look, it wants to play something on the Tesla Cybertruck. So I'm glad you brought that up because it's on the news thing today for us anyway. But before I lose my point, Greg, the birdhouse thing, I feel like if we made cars for birds that look like birdhouses, a generation later they would say, birdhouses were never a bird thing. These cars should look like nests. This is our real bird culture.
Oh yeah,
You
good
should-
point.
Not this westernized, like imposed on us birdhouse view
Yeah,
of
yeah,
birds. That was never what birds are. So then we should jump past that and be sensitive and make nest cars for them.
It's like adaptation. We evolve. We overcome.
Yeah, and we have to
We're
employ
not going
birds
backwards.
as part of the putting the nest together. We can't just do it with our clumsy human hands alone. It has to have some bird fine carriage work to it, and then we put like engine in it.
And then you also got to think about like the penguins and stuff. They're technically birds, but they don't have the same kind of nests. There's multiple.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a difference there. We
Well,
got to
they're-
put them out of ice or something.
that's right. Me just saying birds, like there's
That's a general term.
that's so general.
That's
Yeah.
offensive.
Yeah.
There's a lot of birds out there.
there's a
we
lot
got-
of primates. They don't all vote, but there's
Right.
smart birds and then really dumb ones.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, what about like monkey cars where you have like banana mobiles, or would that be like too terrible? And I would.
There
would
was a
get crucified
banana
for that.
mobile like recently brought up.
I'm sure there's a
Um,
banana car.
There's a new banana car that's making the rounds around town. Two Clueless Dudes, shout out to them. Also on RadioVegas.rocks, twocluelessdudes.com. That's another rad podcast. And I was on it and we talked about this banana car too, coincidentally. This is like the aisle of references right now, the beginning of this. So you had an animal thing to segue to. next before the Tesla truck?
Did I?
I was just
don't
making
think
sure
so.
before I pulled it over to Tesla truck time.
No, jump to Tesla's stunning design.
All right. Have you seen this banana car?
This is my first time.
It's exciting, and so you guys can look up this banana car. There's not much else to say about it, but this Tesla truck, on the other hand, boy howdy. So if you haven't seen this, it looks like
The throw.
there's no roof. There's just front and back and triangle. This, how much do you think they staged the glass breaking part? So for those that you don't know, they demonstrated the roof glass because the vehicle is wedge shaped. It comes to a point, so it looks kind of like a birdhouse from the side of it.
Or like a Halo helmet.
Yeah, the
They're going for
hood.
something.
It's that cab forward design. Oh, and here's something else that a lot of people aren't talking about. There's a ATV, there's a quad that they just drive up into the back of it, and the wing on the back of the quad makes it look like it has a spoiler. Like the truck looks way cooler when there's a quad in the back of it. But the front is the light's just a bar. It comes to like an edge in the front, and the hood and the windshield are all in alignment. Like the windshield is also the first part of the roof, and then the back glass that goes into the slope of the bed is like the rest of your roof. The roof and the edge of the bed are at the same height. It just slopes down. The whole thing looks like it's leaning forward. It looks like a Lamborghini, a lot more than a truck, but it has the pointy edges that make it have truck strength kind of feeling. Very psychological design.
I think it has a lot to do with aerodynamics too.
You
Because
think?
I think so. I mean, like it looks very sleek. I mean, I doubt water would even stay on that thing. Like, when it rains, it's just gonna. There's not gonna be any water spots on it.
It looks sleek, yeah, but I wouldn't say the aerodynamics seems like it takes a second to like that feeling of like design making you think it looks fast,
True.
like perceived aerodynamics.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Lamborghini Countach supposedly wasn't very aerodynamic, but it hella looked like this. Cab forward, tiny hood in the front window, line up, like one continuous piece practically.
Do you like the way it looks?
I love it.
Really? I think it goes 0 to ugly instantly.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like it. I think it's
don't.
really polarizing. What do you think? Do you think there's anything redeeming about it that maybe in another generation it might grow on you? Or do you think it's a hard fail?
I think no. I think like I mean, I love Tesla's work, and Elon Musk is like superhero, not super villain to me.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that.
I just think that this is like normally things have like transitions and they start slowly introducing things, and they skipped like 15 steps. They just went for it. So it'll probably be the future design of a lot of cars and stuff, because if you think about like how they built this, it requires less parts because the longer of a piece, then factories make them quicker. They don't have to have as many little tools and stuff.
That's a really good point that I didn't think of.
So this is gonna probably save people money in the long run, and especially if they're doing energy efficient. They're just trying to get an economic car out there. I think that this will be a good thing in the future, but I don't think people were really ready for that big of a leap. Yeah, they were just like taken off by this. They're like, not that fast.
Well, I think that there's a lot of traditional truck people that are going to buy trucks shaped like they're bought currently, but that's like dying off, and a lot of people want something that'll haul more than a car but are feeling left behind in cool car tech. That's why the Raptor sells so well. The Lightning, all these fast trucks sell like crazy to people that are spending double what this is going to cost on these trucks. So just performance, I think there's people that aren't going to care what it's shaped like. They just want a high performance truck. But also I think there's people like me that are like, part of what I like about an SUV is putting stuff in it. This is put stuff in it, and it feels really cool to look at. Like I like the design of it so much that it pulls me away from liking little cars into considering this truck where I wouldn't otherwise get a truck.
The design to me it doesn't scream truck. I don't know what it screams, like hybrid car, like mid SUV type.
You think? I think up close it looks like a truck outside of civilian work.
Yeah, it does.
Like it looked like a factory
It
piece.
does look like something you're gonna see rolling around on Mars. Like it
Yeah.
just seems like something like it's gonna be on another planet.
This shot's pretty trucky.
It's pretty like
Yeah,
futuristic.
no, from the back it looks like it, but from the side you're like, I don't know, just looks like a flattened SUV or like a high-rise car.
One thing I can't believe no one's done, and maybe part of it is because the taillights would have to be in the bumper. From America, you can't put taillights on a moving piece. But the trunk, the tailgate, goes all the way to the corners.
Mm.
And it's like beveled in the corner rather than having two light edges and the tailgate just come out of this middle part, like a puppet mouth.
It seems like I said, mostly like there's just big, long pieces. Like it's like
Yeah. That
very
would be
smart.
cheaper. I didn't think
very
about it.
smart.
It's gonna be retailing for like 60 something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's not.
That's not
Right.
bad.
That's regular
Yeah.
truck territory for a decent one. Especially
And,
one this
and
big.
because it's new. I mean, if over time, like things that are brand new, their price drops too, so they come out high.
Yeah,
So it'll probably get down too in like a couple years.
totally.
There's a cool photo of it with like a camping.
Oh, that's
in
right.
the camping environment.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
It's got a little like pull out. I don't know if that's like an addition you can add on into the trunk, but it's got like a swivel. You can like pull out, and there's a stove on there,
Dude, I'm
extra
glad you
storage.
brought that up because this thing
and like
looks
a tent,
badass for camping.
like on the bed.
Yeah,
It
that, I
just-
mean, I think like the design for going into off-roading and anything dirty with that would be really cool.
yeah,
The
and
tires look like they can handle anything.
Yeah,
probably be easy to clean with these flat
Hell
lines.
yeah.
But a lot of people speculate that for the future of marketing, it's going to be more segmented, and that's been a lot of the last decade of marketing, and really beginning in the 80s, where it can't be one size fits all. Like, who this is a truck for is not going to stop the market for completely different looking trucks, especially curvy cars. There's going to be a market for complete opposites of this vehicle in every way. Small curvy cars, like forever. Even when a lot of cars get this blocky, it's going to be one of those things where designs get more polarizing and less kind of compromising for everybody. Because that's what we had at the peak of that in like the late 80s into the 90s, through the beginning of the 2000s, where every car looked the same because there was no daring. There was only let's compromise and have everyone be okay with it rather than have anyone love it.
It seems like all the cars like they changed to be the same over the generations. If you look at old Bugs back in the day, they had like this weird like kind of shape to them, but the other cars of that style, they had the big round headlights. The hood was the same. It didn't matter what maker it was. And then it's just like they all transitioned to the same design, almost like unilaterally, like simultaneously.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's on purpose or if it's just like the whole, goldfish thing where like one goldfish in this pond starts doing something, the other goldfish in another pond just start doing it magically too.
I think it's a ton of that, but finally we're starting to see, and partly is there's enough people and enough human beings that can afford to buy a car, that the economy of scale finally makes it worthwhile to have cars that some people love while sacrificing the people that won't buy it because they hate it, rather than these designs that everyone is like just okay with.
Even hating it though, that's good publicity.
Right.
Like, I mean, everybody's talking about it. And if
Yeah.
everyone's talking about it, that's just free publicity.
And
And,
that's
like-
happened in a lot of markets where that worked out like that.
and it
Right.
like reinforces the people who love it, because usually something polarizing. I mean, it's usually like half and half. So if people are like, "Oh, this design is ugly," then the people who love it are gonna be like, "Oh no, you just don't get it,"
Right.
and they're
Totally.
just gonna love it.
It reminds me
Forever.
of the Simpsons episode where Homer designs some
Yeah.
car and
Oh,
everyone-
yeah, yeah,
he
yeah,
rolls
dude.
out and everyone's making fun of him. Like, I like that idea.
Right.
I'd drive it.
Hell yeah.
What's this thing
Fucking
on the back
Tesla.
right here? Is that like an extended?
So that's the camping thing we were talking about. And the top of the tent extends from that slope of the front windshield.
Yeah, and there's like a little shelf you can see where you can just like sleep in there, so you
Right.
can put your pads, whatever. Probably I don't know if there's room for an air mattress, but
See, Elon Musk should have launched this car into space instead of the other one.
right.
Yeah, it wouldn't
If
have the
aliens
paint
find
melt
this
off.
one, they're like, "Oh, okay, these guys know how to design
Yeah,
cars."
they're like, all right, yeah, this is ready for our planet.
All right, we'd like to order some.
I think Howard Stern's a good example of that concept of not for everybody. And that's part of why Who He Was For was so loyal.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
Family Guy. There's tons of examples in media where like,
South Park.
yeah, the people that liked it so much that it didn't matter that it wasn't for everybody. The
Yeah.
cult things. And like to finally have appreciation with cult media, to see that come to like design and cool stuff where we can really like express our personalities with our objects without having to buy crazy expensive customized things. There's just more options out there. Like when computers first came in different colors other than beige.
The dark ages of computers.
I would love to see that in neighborhoods, because neighborhoods are like that too, where
Well,
it's
out
just
here-
beige boxes.
Yeah, out here in Vegas, like they just make it the same everywhere. You're flying over it, and it all looks like blanketed.
Yeah, it's like a
on the
mold.
East Coast, you see a lot of individual houses, and some like close to the beaches too. You see that.
Oh
too.
yeah.
Yeah.
But like this is just. Well, we have cheap living for a reason, you know.
Mhm.
Mass production of the same style is easy to reproduce, so that makes it for cheaper. But yeah, if you
People
wanna
don't stick around.
Yeah, that's. I hate this place. It's desert sickness. Everything looks the same. But
Yeah, and that makes it worse. Traditionally, desert cultures got extra colorful and weird because of that mundaneness.
like Burning Man.
That is an example, but also I was thinking like Native Americans that with like colorful stones and stuff went extra colorful in the desert areas.
Yeah, we just kind of just like have this. No matter where you look, everything is this. You can be on one side of town and you feel like you're home because it's all like.
Yeah,
exact
just
same
the
design.
beige stucco.
I walked into one of somebody else's house on the other side of town. They had the same exact floor plan as the house that I grew up in. They're like, the bathroom is, yeah, I know.
Right.
I got
Okay,
it.
can I tell a quick walking into the wrong house story?
Yeah, go for it.
I walked into the house next to my buddy and just turned the knob and opened it. And instead of my dude in his house, it was this totally different house. And I was really weirded out. And then out stepped, I'm forgetting his name right now, but like a well-known MMA fighter that was like his neighbor.
Oh,
that
really?
I'd met before at like a barbecue. Fortunately, he recognized me from this meeting at a barbecue, and he's a really nice dude.
Yeah.
But I almost got like MMA'd,
Yeah.
like coming into someone's house.
Doesn't even need a weapon. It's like these hands are weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I mean, he would have the self-control to at least like, you here to rob me, going down.
Yeah, he was all calm and smiling.
Yeah.
Like-
you walk
you-
into the wrong house.
Yeah.
It's
He's
probably it's probably
"I need to
happened
train."
before. Yeah.
He looked excited to deal with what walked in.
I could skip the gym today.
Yeah.
Free practice.
Damn. Oh man. All right. This is a feel good story. We need more heroes like this. The Robin Hood of McNuggets.
Yeah, you guys. Nugget Hood. This is great.
Yeah.
This is a feel good story for the
So this
ages.
guy, Cody Bondarchuk, is being hailed as a hero after it is revealed that for about the last 2 years, he's been adding in one extra nugget into almost every 10-piece nugget that is ordered. And this is in Edmonton, Canada. So
That's right. We should be cheering.
he's definitely the Robin Hood of nugs.
Yeah. Nug Hood. There's no way to say that quicker.
I know, yeah. It's the Robin Hood of nugs with a Z, N-U-G-Z. But someone made an attempt to tally the overall value of an extra nugget for every 10 piece, and it could be upwards of 40 G's.
So that's a
40
good thing
grand.
for other countries, but in America, with our obesity problem, that's kind of like counter.
Right.
In America, we need somebody that's like taking one nugget out every for everybody. They're helping.
dude.
Damn.
That is such a hilarious point. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
we have that huge obesity problem out here, so like they would actually be caring about you even though they're cheating you. And I'm
Right.
sure McDonald's would love that person too if he could manage.
Yeah.
Like, this person can't count. Just take one.
Damn. And it turns out apparently some of his coworkers were doing this as well. So there are a lot of nuggets robbed from that McDonald's
So wait,
franchise.
how much money do you think McDonald's lost from these extra nuggets again?
Someone on Twitter made an attempt to guesstimate, and it could be upwards of 40 grand
Wow.
total over 20 years.
Okay, so
Or 2 years,
Wow.
sorry, 2 years, not 20 years.
that's
That'd be like
crazy
ridiculous.
that it can be that much in just 2 years. But on the other hand, that's not so bad compared to what McDonald's spends on an advertising campaign for that kind of goodwill. If
Yeah,
people
yeah.
loved that McDonald's, that franchise owner probably got more attraction at his McDonald's than like the one down the street
True.
due to this. And that could easily be more than 40 grand more. I mean, some of these places will give away a car. That's in that 40
Yeah,
grand
right.
pocket.
Yeah, and
for
it's
that.
like it should be common practice in restaurants. Like when someone goes to a place, like hook them up with free shit the first couple times, and then they're gonna just be like
That's like the
psychologically conditioned
drug
to
dealer
love
mentality.
you.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
Give them a little free one, they'll come back, they'll be addicted.
that's right.
First one's on the house.
Yeah.
First one's on us.
Oh, you folks have to see this.
You
this
ever tried
gentleman,
crack? You're gonna love it. Trust
Yeah.
me. Here you go.
This
Yeah.
hero. All right, still the intention, whether it's nuggets or crack or green smoothies, it's still the spirit of giving on someone else's dime, on your
Yeah,
employer's
someone
dime.
else's.
Right.
When you're in charge of a wealthy corporation, spread and just don't. I'm giving bad advice.
Yeah,
I'm
don't
gonna
get
get y'all
fired.
fired,
people.
yeah.
Don't get fired. Don't
Yeah.
get caught. I mean, don't do it.
Damn. All right. Nice. All right. It's about that time. I think we should pay some of our Billy Bobs.
Yeah, we're already at Bob Thornton hour. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll see you back in a second.
Hey
Stick
guys,
around.
it's Crazy Jay from the Rockin' Comedy Show, and I wanted to talk to you about the Ballsy Company. They have a fantastic product that I am absolutely in love with. In fact, here's a clip of the Rockin' Comedy Show as we talk about it.
That's ballsy.
Ballsy.
Oh, ballsy.
That's ball wash.
That
Yeah,
stuff
ball
smells
wash.
really
The funk
good.
off your junk.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's for guys on the go.
For guys on the go.
You know.
You know, you got
Let me see.
your nut rub, your sack spray, and for everything else, nuts, butts, and your body.
The funk off your junk. That's kind of hilarious. How do I get one of those? That's like
Smell
a fun
how
gift.
good it smells.
Hashtag live balls out.
Live balls out.
Right.
That's right.
Guys, if you go to ballsy.com or ballwash.com, both of those companies work. If you use coupon code RadioVegas, you'll get 15% off your first order.
I'm going to smell the sack spray right
Right.
now. It's
I want the
smelly.
ladies here at Radio Vegas to know what it smells like, so that when we walk by them, they're like, oh.
Someone's freshened up.
Guys, seriously, you gotta check out Ball Wash from the Ballsy Company. Mention Radio Vegas in that coupon code. Get 15% off. You won't be disappointed.
Kicker Audio.
So check it out, Mario. They hit me up, the guys from Kicker. They said, Jay, you have done a fantastic job promoting these headphones. And
They're awesome.
They're all over Facebook. You have tweeted them. We know that you love the headphones. But how come you haven't talked about this wireless Bluetooth bullfrog we have? And I said, well, to be honest with you never sent me one.
We haven't tested it.
Within 24 hours, there was one delivered to my house. So now, this is going to blow your mind, Mario. Listen. You're impressed. No dead space. Speakers on both sides. Isn't that awesome?
Very impressed.
It's Kicker Audio, everybody. You got to go there. Check them out online.
Kicker Audio. Living loud. Remember in the beginning, when you first started to build a life for you and your family, you never imagined it would come to this. Instead of living your dreams, you're living with debt. In fact, it's smothering you. Now there's a way you can take back control with one simple call. If you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt, you qualify to receive a free, no-obligation consultation on how to get rid of that debt for good. Call the Debt Helpline now. We work on your behalf to reduce your debt. We specialize in credit cards, retail store cards, and medical bills. One simple call is all it takes to get the ball rolling to a debt-free life. Stop living with debt and start living your dreams. Call the Debt Helpline now.
800-709-4389. 800-709-4389. 800-709-4389. That's 800-709-4389.
That's the sound most people make when they leave Pinches Tacos. Why is that? Because Pinches Tacos prides themselves in making every location unique, but give every location the same feel. I'm not talking cookie cutters like those big chain restaurants. They blend into your neighborhood and create a place you want to call your second home. Their doors are always open. Well, at least until 11 o'clock. Their mission is simple. They provide you the best taco experience by using high-quality meats and seafood, fresh garden vegetables, handmade tortillas, and high-quality artisan breads. They could have made it complicated, but they chose not to. Why? Because they found through experience that keeping things simple is a good recipe for success and happiness. It's also a good recipe for a pretty tasty pinches taco.
According to Spanish language stack exchange, we always use it as an insult enhancer and can turn almost any curse word into a really rude one. Pinche pendejo, pendeja equals asshole.
Now they have 6 locations, 2 right here in Las Vegas. Come in, find out why we love them so much. Check them out on Facebook or visit the website, pinchestacos.com, for a location nearest you. Hey everybody, it's Crazy Jay, and I want to tell you about ZipFizz. I know what you're thinking. Jay, you've been telling us about ZipFizz. Well, I have the brand new flavor right next to me, and I haven't tried it yet, so let's open it and give this a try. My bottle of water, shake that up. Now this is a brand new flavor, Mango Peach. I have not tried it. I'm looking forward to it. They have a wide variety of flavors, if you didn't know. They've got grape, fruit punch, orange cream, orange soda, iced tea, all fantastic. But let's give Mango Peach a try. Oh man, that is absolutely amazing. I'm a fan of all their flavors, but nothing like this. Oh man, that is absolutely delicious. Mango Peach, ZipFizz, get it today. Visit zipfizz.com, tell them Radio Vegas, tell them Crazy Jay sent you, and get your Mango Peach today.
ZipFizz energy, no sudden crash, 10 calorie, low carb, vitamin B, the healthy energy mix. ZipFizz.
And we're back. It's Greasy Conversation on RadioVegas.rocks. It's going on right here with Joshua Burns.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. We got some.
No relation. Simpsons.
We got some. It seems like anytime there's someone in the public eye, and then there's an old photo of a similar looking person in the past, then automatically you're a time traveler.
Yeah, these
That's
are
the
great
most
though.
logical.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
That's like you jump to that instantly.
I love
As
these.
No
Greta Thunberg, who's been getting more publicity, she's talking out about climate change, rather young. So they found this old photo of
Greta?
some girl. I mean, they do look really similar, but it's
Oh, yeah, I've seen that picture before.
it doesn't mean she's a time traveler. Come on, man.
But we can't rule that out.
What if it's like time traveling through genes? Like they're really related,
Right?
and there's like knowledge that was really carried through, like the spirit of this ancient individual and their like spark of fire and willing to change the worldness.
Opened up their DNA code and was like, I've been storing this for a long time and it is your time. Like chosen one type stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like she just unlocked it, and also their faces look the same.
What if that's a thing, like someone travels back in time, but it's not precise, right? So they bring back with them like technology to clone themselves so they can persist through the next generation until they get to the right time they're supposed to be at.
Yeah. So you're saying she was sent from the future.
Yeah.
But she ended up too early in time.
Yeah.
But she was sent with technology to be able to pop back up later, all cloned up.
Yeah.
And hidden in the DNA code.
Yeah.
And I agree with this. This makes the most sense for why these two.
It's just even better. Go back to the primordial ooze, and then you just throw your DNA in there, and you know that this world's yours now. It'll keep popping up. You're
Sooner
gonna see
or later,
her.
someone's gonna look like that.
Every 120 years, she's gonna come back, like changing the world in her image.
Right.
Well, both these people were environmentalists, and their faces looked very similar. So there can't be any other explanation.
Well, we just gave one.
Yeah, it's seriously confirmed already.
But what I want to know is, in this photo, there's 2 other kids in this old photo.
Also clones.
Who are these kids? I mean, this is obviously their younger time travel self. I want to know who they are now. But
we
I
have
guess we'll just
facial
have to wait.
recognition. We could just like Google search their faces. I guarantee they're in this generation too.
Yeah. No doubt. But I mean, like, we all have doppelgangers. Like, people, it just is I mean, I've seen pictures of people who look eerily similar to me, or I look eerily similar to them. I don't know which one's the clone anymore.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm probably the clone.
You
but
might have
you never
swapped
know.
places and not realized that.
I know. I mean, the mind boggles,
Do
man.
you really remember what your mom looks like?
No. Which tripping me out right now.
It's like last Thursday. You can't prove that the whole existence of your reality didn't just pop into existence last Thursday, and everything in your head is just programmed.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite ideas is like, oh no, just everything blinked into existence like last week, and we all just think it's
been here forever.
Yeah. No way to know for sure.
This photo of her 120 years ago is not the best photo either.
Yeah, I know, right? And I mean, they do look similar, but you could tell there's definitely enough differences where you're not going to be like, those are the same person.
Well, those eyebrows.
Well, yeah.
That's why we know it's a clone.
I like the face she's making on the left more than the right. The right one looks all pissed off. Maybe
Right?
if the girl made the same face in the left one, we could be okay. That's her for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
The one on the left looks way too excited about everything.
For sure. It's suspicious. I've definitely met like 8 people that looked exactly like this little girl, though. And I've had people come up to me, angry at me for not being who they thought I looked like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I know. Actually, in school, there was another Joshua Burns, same grade, and we look alike. And to this day, I still get Facebook requests from girls and stuff, and then their boyfriends yelling at me for the things he's doing. I'm like, it's not me. It's not me, man. It's the wrong one. They're like, you look so much alike. I was like, I know. I've been dealing with this since middle school.
Damn.
Meanwhile, he's like bumbling around there, wrecking your rep.
Yeah. He sent this girl some chocolates on Valentine's Day, and then I'm getting like the guy about to come beat me up, and he's even checking out my Facebook profile and still thinks I'm the guy.
Oh,
Damn.
man.
So which
That's
one's
rough.
the clone there?
I know, right? It's both
It's
the
like-
clone. It's the original one. Who's causing all the havoc.
It's identity theft.
Yeah.
The clone's been updated, and he's a more perfect human. So.
Damn.
Man, there's got to be like a field in your credit report for this kind of activity.
Right. Yeah. Clone.
This is messed up.
Right.
Doppelganger.
Identity used by clone.
Yeah.
The government has a program for this.
Right. Probably.
If they can't stop all the fraud calls coming in, what hope is there for anything?
The government's behind
Right.
the fraud calls. The government wants to get on your phone and hear everything that's going on all the time.
Yeah, they could just do that and not make it ring.
Right, but they don't actually
Spy
have you.
away.
They don't actually have you talking and stuff. They want voice recognition. They want to hear what you sound like pissed off.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
when you blow up on them on the phone, then they're like, record that. If he ever does anything crazy, we can use this in court.
It's good data.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
good
man.
data. Get it. You getting this? You rolling?
Damn. All right. This is just hilarious. This giant, it's a 22-foot statue of baby Jesus that looks like Phil Collins.
Yeah.
Back in the day, dude. It's got like the same hair. Oh my goodness.
Had me a giant baby.
Giant baby Jesus.
Check this out.
So great. I mean, and that's it. But the way they did the hair, it does look like a young Phil Collins.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got to scroll this stuff down. We've got.
Oh my god.
Hold on. Let me make sure you guys can all see. Greasy Conversation on YouTube if you want to see too. Wow. It's just so Phil Collins. Like, more than Phil Collins looks like Phil Collins.
That looks like a South Park like reminiscence of it. It's like how they're trying to make it look cartoony.
Yeah.
I don't know why there's an Elliott Smith video playing at the same time. But yeah.
And what's he reaching for? He looks really excited.
It looks like he's reaching for me. Wow, it's so big. I just noticed the little person. I thought this
yeah.
was like a couple feet tall. It just, let's see if we
Oh no, it's 22 feet.
22 feet tall ceramic baby Phil Collins. This is amazing.
See, babies are cute for a reason because they're small, and the second you blow a baby up like to that proportions, things don't look cute anymore. They start looking creepy. It's like
No.
very, very eerie looking eyes and everything. The facial expression, like I might be
Adult
haunted.
face.
Yeah. I mean, Phil Collins and that thing definitely look alike, but
Why aren't the hands chubby? The hands are just tiny hands.
Yeah, they're like normal creepy hands. They're like creepy hands for a giant baby, man.
Oh, you guys have to look at this. The nose is so like British. There's no one where Jesus supposedly lived that looked like this racially.
Well,
There's
hold on
another
now.
mistake.
We haven't technically seen a picture of him. We just have a really ugly looking drawing of him.
Wait, so does this mean that Phil Collins
Is Jesus?
is Jesus? Like he was a time traveler and he went back and then this is the real image of Jesus?
That is a possibility. That's why he looks so happy on the right. He's like, they're almost ready. They're almost ready.
Real talk though, it is suspicious that there's no records of Jesus until like 30 years after his, or no, like 230 years after his death. No one, like nothing happened for like 30 years since him. With the records of it, the entire story is exactly like the story of Hero of the Romans. He was super cool with the Romans. His parents were going to go pay their taxes when they had him, like super good Roman citizens. He turned water into wine, which is Roman slang for taking a piss. That the Jews wouldn't have known if Romans tried to spread this story about someone fulfilling their religion and making their religion obsolete by coming as their Messiah. And so, meanwhile, we've got a whole giant sect of humanity that was carried on from those people whose religion he supposedly fulfilled that never caught anything about him being their Messiah. It doesn't line up with them at all. Just the people
until
that
like
were...
way after the fact.
Yeah, just the people that were fringe Jewish mixed with pagan rituals that they just grew up with and didn't have anything concrete that made them easy to subvert by Roman government. Like a whole totally cool with the government, willing to give himself up in his life to the law and be forsaken by his own people.
Jesus is out there with Tupac on a beach somewhere.
Except it's like, it just all fits together as the perfect story if you were Roman and wanted to subjugate a people under you. By getting them to like follow a thing, it's like perfect for that.
What's interesting about the Bible to me is that like it's literally in history that they rewrote it 3 times.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, yeah, but this version's the real one. It's everything's factual in there, but it was rewritten 3 times. Why was the first one not good enough?
Like nothing was
we
canonized.
didn't edit it.
Nothing was canonized until I believe it was 360 AD in the Nicene Creed, the Treaty of Nicaea, which is the formation of the Roman Catholic Church. So there like practically wasn't an organized Christianity as we know it before the Roman Catholics like made it this thing under like it filled a role in the Roman government.
Yeah, totally.
And it also subjugated all the pagan sects too.
Yeah.
So it was like an all-in-one subjugation approved corporate religion for the government. At that time,
the whole church thing is crazy. They went at one point in time. They went back and had to change the calendar for messed up time, and they just made like a whole week disappear. That's more impressive than Jesus. They're literally like, all right, and this week never happened. All of a sudden, it went from December 7th to December 14th, and nobody questioned anything. It's like, so if you're like past that in years, and you say this was the exact date, technically it's thrown off because of what they had to adjust. And that's crazy to me that they just can literally go change it. Time and perception and all that.
It makes me think about still having to come up with that whole month's rent.
Right. The Catholic Church does not care. They're going to collect.
Yeah.
You think that Phil Collins, after saw this, is going to write another song? He's like, I can feel the second coming in the air tonight.
Dude.
Man, I hope
Fucking
so.
Brilliant.
I love Phil Collins, you guys.
Me too.
Real talk, this makes me so glad to see him honored in this way, to see this tribute to him in his life before he hasn't passed yet. So we should have made statues like this of Tom Petty and Prince before we lost them, so they could enjoy them like this. People could preach in front of them and stuff. Real talk though, how do you like learn or be spiritual or something with that staring down at you.
Right. It's creepy. Like I feel like it's not staring into my soul. It's staring into like a cookie jar past me. Like I don't feel like I need to repent for anything. I think he has a problem. He looks like he's got something that he needs to confess for.
Yeah.
I think it just it eats souls and it's looking at your soul like a cookie jar.
So hungry.
So that is true too.
That's what it.
But
what
I
it
gotta
looks
say,
like.
with the positions of those hands and him being a baby, I think he's going for something else. Like,
It's a thirsty looking child.
yeah, it is a thirsty looking child. I might go to hell for that one. Sorry, Mother.
All right, I think we're dwelling on this one. You got one lining up?
Somewhere.
Behold.
Somewhere, someday, another way. This cool photo released by NASA. Just some galaxies like
Love NASA.
battling it out, man.
Galaxy Battle. Can I say that we've got way too many sick headlines to actually make it through today, and I can say in advance. So I highly, highly recommend you can go here right now. If you go to greasyconversation.com and give yourself a click on this episode, there's a link to our very own Google Doc right here that we've got. Why am I clicking on share in front of you guys? I shared it already. You can go there right now and you can look at these same wacky links and news jaunts of the last couple weeks and make sure that other people think that you're cool because of rad stuff you have to tell them. It's valuable. It's valuable takeaway. Document.
They'll know.
They'll know
you're cool.
That's right. When it comes to quality documents, it's a document for the ages every week for you. Pick it up. I feel like you get to feel like a weird sleuthy spy and that you're seeing our actual shared Google Doc too. It's not like posted on some blog. You're in our documents.
The ones we actually.
Scenes.
Yeah.
You
You're
got
like,
a VIP backstage pass.
that's right.
Right.
In our file cabinets, you're thumbing through our Watergate stuff.
And don't judge my search history.
So this Galaxy Battle thing, basically, what?
This
Two-
is Andromeda.
It's two. We got UGC 1810 is battling with ARP 273, about 300 million light years away in the Andromeda constellation. So this happens like.
Good.
I don't
Did you
know.
read that, or did you just recognize it?
Oh
as
no, this
Andromeda?
isn't the Andromeda one. So
Oh, okay.
our galaxy, the Milky Way, and the Andromeda are on a collision course.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know if you might have noted this about me, but I'm a super big nerd when it comes to space, NASA. I watch documentaries about space and everything all the time. So
Oh, yeah.
this
Perfect.
kind of stuff got me a little excited when we said Galaxy Battle. I was like, I know exactly what's happening here.
Yeah, we love that kind of stuff too on this
Yeah.
show. So that was a thing.
Yeah, and then ours is gonna. I mean, what is it, like 5 billion years or something, or is it longer than that?
I think for us it's gonna be it's in the billions. I think it's like 2 billion or 2.4 billion years. We're gonna end up starting the collision, but the collisions
Yeah.
are gonna last for a long time.
Yeah.
Like once they start touching just the outer rims of them, to when they actually collide and then fly past each other and then keep colliding back and forth and finally settling, is a process that's gonna take like who knows how long.
Yeah, multiple billions of years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always crazy, but I mean, shit happens, man.
The black
But,
holes
like,
in the center are crazy.
You wouldn't even like. I mean, we could. I wonder if you'd be able to tell. Like, at what point would you be able to tell that, or you'd be able to feel effects on a planet that the galaxy that this planet was in was like colliding with another galaxy?
They say that you can't tell unless you're close to the center of the black hole, where the main gravitational attractions are going to concentrate. So on
Gotcha,
the
yeah,
outer
yeah.
rims of it, you're just going to be a planet that just sees the Andromeda getting closer and closer and brightening up the sky. So you're going to just see it like, all the swirls and everything, and it's going to look really colorful. And then once the two start hitting in the middle,
You just have more stars then.
yeah, more stars, more colors, more radiation. Like I mean, if you could speed it up really fast, it would look really cool, but it's going to move so slow that it would take generations to even notice a difference. Like they
Yeah.
wouldn't think anything different of the sky.
Can we talk about some hot space pick reviews from the previous handful of episodes? For example, did you know that there's a theory that Planet X, which is a planet we haven't visibly confirmed,
Mm-hmm.
but just beyond Pluto, that's like Uranus sized, we see evidence in the gravity
yeah.
that there's something there, but we can't visibly confirm it. And people are starting to think that instead of it being just really crappy at reflecting light or blocking light is another issue. We haven't seen stars blotted out by it either. That possibly it's just like a tennis ball sized black hole.
Or it could be a dead star, because most stars in the universe have a binary solar connection. Like there's two stars that rotate around each other.
Which is weird finding out that's the norm.
Yeah, like we're the rare one in in this equation.
So you're saying that there's another theory that rather than a black hole, which would be more sucky than a dead star could be a little bit bigger, right?
They say that. I mean, the black hole one. I've heard this one too.
It would have to be a really little one.
Yeah, it would be a little. It would, or a really dense collapsed star that's not like a neutron star, not like a white dwarf. There's a brown dwarf, I believe, is what they said it was, and it wouldn't reflect light very well.
Do you know
it would be
how
outshine, but we would still probably see that easier than we would find a black hole.
I'd imagine the size would have to be. It's that size thing is making me think black hole time. That I'd imagine even a dead star would have to be close to planet size to be acting like a planet of rock. Planet of rock.
It could be around Jupiter size.
Yeah, that seems really huge. And the gravity is saying that it's like Uranus size, I believe.
Yeah,
I believe.
They think that it could be in that elliptical orbit too, which
causes
it to fly out for a very long time, and then it's not on our visible plane, because a lot of the time, because it's on that orbit, it's behind the sun, so we can't really see it too well.
And it's weird that Pluto's so dang tiny too. Compared to what we think, yeah.
When I grew up, there was a planet. Now we have a whole list of real planets, and then a whole list of dwarf planets, and now no one gives a crap about the other dwarf planets.
It's like planetoids and
like that other one that I think it's Sirius. Ceres that's in the asteroid belt that's about Pluto type.
Sirius, something like that, right?
Yeah, Sirius, something like that.
I think Sirius is a star.
I know.
And then Sirius.
That's why I'm like, which one is which?
Or Ceres.
But they have like 4. When they declassified Pluto as a planet, they added like 3 other dwarf planets on at that time.
Yeah, it's interesting if you don't already know this. I seem like I don't, but I just don't remember right now, because I didn't bone up on this.
There's so much in the universe if you remember everything.
It's cool stuff to check out. Yeah, it's a really fun thing to get like that wow factor of checking out fresh.
Yeah, or just check out like photos that the new Hubble takes.
PBS Space Time on YouTube is a recommendation that I have. PBS Space Time channel is very good.
I like on YouTube SciShow.
SciShow?
Yeah.
SciShow is awesome. Also Seeker.
Haven't heard that one.
Seeker, I'm surprised it wouldn't have recommended that with enough SciShows.
How
it's
about
similar.
Vsauce? Vsauce is
that's
amazing.
Classic.
Yeah, you can get some really good information on that one.
Oh man, if you haven't binged some old Vsauce videos, you haven't really done YouTube.
Right?
For real.
I love space because it's like the further away from Earth you get, the more magical and like the more extreme things seem to happen, and people like time travel, for example, is actually in space. It's like a part of space, and on Earth it blows our mind, but if you do the math and everything, it's just a thing out there. Like there's tons of objects in space traveling through time, literally all around us, and we're like, nah, you can't time travel. That girl probably fell into a black hole and came back into past too. We didn't even go over that option.
Yeah, or that time isn't relevant to so many subatomic particles,
right?
That we've been thinking about as particles, but really something like the Higgs boson isn't so much as a particle as that's a way to just deal with it in the math and a way to conceptualize it, where really it's like a point on a field, and that this field doesn't care about time at all. All it does is grant mass. So however much you stick to this field is how much massive you are, but like that affects you in every direction. So that field doesn't have a dimension like we understand dimensions.
Yeah, it's like that. I do a lot of my own theories, and they almost all revolve around the laws of energy. And a big one too, even from quantum immortality, which is a real theory that they came up with. I actually had this theory and wrote it down and then found out that it was an actual scientific theory afterwards. But it pretty much has to do with like the energy inside your body when you die transferring over to the nearest universe that it is connected to, because you're constantly traveling between universes because we're made of energy and energy is doing that. So you just travel over to the next universe where you didn't die and keep going and you'll never die. And then they say even when you finally do die, your energy, since it can't be destroyed, goes back to another point in your life, like not necessarily when you're a baby, but it just keeps repeating. So you can never actually prove it, because the only way to prove it and show everybody is you got to kill yourself, but you'd be the only one that knows. It's a really great, if you haven't heard of it, look it up, quantum immortality. It's a really interesting theory.
Well, with the fact that energy can't be created or destroyed, it just transfers states. It's like that idea that when we drink water, it contains molecules that were dinosaur piss at some point.
Oh, yeah.
It's the same molecule. But what I think is really novel is organization. And I love theories that work in and value or the organized or disorganized states of things, like entropy, how things tend to entropy into disarray and disorganization. Yet when molecules started getting sticky and hooking to each other and then starting to form chains and then starting to want to, like, that step between that and the self-organizing, where things start to want to perpetuate certain data, kind of like a virus, both biologically or in a computer. You can have a computer bug that causes self-replication, and all of a sudden it's an issue. Or more commonly, similar to cancer in humans, if you have a bug that causes a loop, it'll crash a computer program or make a computer freeze because it's stuck doing the same loop of creating the same process over and over again, which is what happens when cells multiply out of control in a cancer state. So like these things happen naturally, but they're like self-organizing in that case. So there's states where energy and mass are being transferred back and forth, and then there's situations where organization of data is going up or down. Like when we die, it's less organized until all these other organisms, which is another weird thing that's that word, but come in and separate it into all these base molecules again that they use for food.
It's like Legos. Like they said, like the difference between life and death is life is a bunch of Legos put together, and then death is a bunch of Legos knocked apart. But at the same time, there's no real difference. They're still Legos. So is there really technically a difference between life and death? It's all just kind of the same building blocks.
And is the life how other people perceive our physical body doing things and these physical records left behind in these objects? Or is the life the pattern of electricity in our brains? One is energy and one is matter. But if that pattern of the energy can be perpetuated in anything else, how are you not backed up in that case?
I have a theory on why we're here and why we exist, but the main part of it that's important is that we're basically, the life is the entire universe. It's like just the ball of energy that is the universe. We're all connected to it, and we're like a kidney inside the universe. So there's no difference between us being alive right here and the empty space in the universe. It's all alive. So it's a really your definition on what living and what being alive really means. But if you think about the energy in the universe is all connected as one giant wave of water, it's like saying, well, is this one cup of water alive and this one cup's not?
How many things are alive without consciousness? So that's also like a weak word to use for when I'm really talking about like
they say like sentient
sentience, yeah. And if sentience exists in this pattern of data, if that pattern of data can be in a different physical holder than a lump of brain time, will that pattern of data be equally sentient? Is a weird question.
Yeah, it was really interesting too. Is like in space, like the more we can find these answers that we're trying to figure out on Earth by looking at the building blocks of space and everything. Like in the large scale, how the sun and all the black holes interact is almost mirror to when you go down to the smallest scales and see how atoms and quarks and molecules interact. Like it's a huge scale, but
we can write data on this quantum scale now. And if we can do that with our clumsy hands, when we can only see subatomic particles by blasting them apart with other subatomic particles, like someone using a hammer for hands to try to work on a car, is like the best, most accurate we can do. And yet we're still able to write data onto crystals now. We were burning data onto disks for a decade with smaller and smaller beams of light, where the wavelength of the light had to be small enough, like to put the dots on the disk to save data.
That's an interesting thing too.
And that data can then control real life stuff.
This crystal thing is really cool because that will last really long time. But it's weird, like you said, the disk thing. Even though that was an advanced technology, it was not gonna last as long as. There's more things that could go wrong with that than
durable.
like a book. Like you know, so we had this primitive technology for years, and we think, oh, we updated, we got this really cool disk, but it's like, yeah, but if the sun hits that wrong, or if it gets like, you know, the littlest scratch on it, then your information's screwed. But a book is like, this book's 2,000 years old.
Yeah.
It's crazy how sometimes like the technology gets better, but it's actually longevity gets shorter.
So did you see that spooky Microsoft video that was super trending on YouTube, where the dude's in a blue glass box? Holla, folks, if you've seen this. Oh, I love that Ange said more stars are suns than we give them credit for. That's right. So yeah, that's our hella correspondent there. A lot of this news came from her, including this article. So got a shout out to the team. It's not just us two, and it takes you folks out there too. Holla, tell your friends. This is a good opportunity to remind you that the more we grow this, the more we can be full of valuable takeaway nuggets together as a community, greasy style. Droplets, do it. So
give those nuggets out.
Yeah.
We'll drop a knowledge. He'll keep giving nuggets.
I'm glad I trailed off on where we were talking, because it's actually Bob Thornton hour right now.
It's true.
Time to pay him.
That's the sound most people make when they leave Pinches Tacos. Why is that? Because Pinches Tacos prides themselves in making every location unique, but give every location
Pinches Tacos,
the same feel.
I love them, but we did that the previous ad break. I'm not going to make you go through that again, but I am going to remind you personally that if you get that blood orange margarita and mention RadioVegas.rocks to their face, then you can get a free Gringo Loco taco. And it's worth me mentioning this personally to you, because it's a big deal. It's a good taco.
What is Jesse Ray's Barbecue? Well, it's a tiny, unassuming place with a modest menu of platters, sandwiches, and house-made sauces. Located at 5611 South Valley View. By the smell alone, you're going to know you're in the right place. Come try the award-winning slow-smoked ribs, chicken, pulled pork, hot links, and brisket. The sauce is also something to talk about, as you will want to eat it with every bite. Here's a tip. Their sauces are available for purchase. When people ask you, how do you like Jesse Ray's Barbecue? You'll say, like most people I know, I don't like it, I love it. Jesse Ray's Barbecue is 100% legit. Stop on by for a meal that will satisfy your barbecue-loving lips. Mention RadioVegas.rocks for 10% off your order. Jesse Ray's, located at 5611 South Valley View on the corner of Valley View and Russell. Come in, take a bite, find out why they're so award-winning.
Is your butt a crudely built birdhouse?
No.
Then why are you sanding it with toilet paper? Dude wipes have aloe vera to protect your sensitive side. See? Sensitive.
Come on, dude, take it to the hole.
Hey, Bobby, I feel like going out tonight, but I don't feel like going to the Strip. Any ideas?
I say we head over to the Golden Tiki over on Spring Mountain Road.
I've never been. What's so great about it?
Dude, they got some great, crazy drinks up there, man. And it's right in the heart of all the foot massage parlors, so if we can walk there, you know, we get a foot massage on the way back.
Or in case we strike out, right?
Man, you're not going to strike out. Dude, I get laid when I walk into the Golden Tiki.
Really? I'm in.
Come on down to the Golden Tiki, located at 3939 Spring Mountain Road, right in the heart of Chinatown. You're going to love it. This place is absolutely amazing. Come and check it out for yourself. 3939 Spring Mountain Road.
This is an urgent health notice for all residents suffering from back, neck, knee, and wrist pain. You may qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you, but the deadline is fast approaching. Simply call the Health Alert Hotline now.
You heard right. You may qualify for a pain-relieving back, neck, knee, or wrist brace. These items may even be covered by Medicare or your private insurance. The Health Alert Hotline is your brace company. These specialized braces have been tested for pain relief. Call us toll-free right now to determine your eligibility and to learn how to use your private insurance or Medicare to minimize your out-of-pocket cost. Don't wait. If the deadline passes, you may lose your opportunity to get a pain-relieving back, neck, knee, or wrist brace at little or no cost to you.
800-238-4840. 800-238-4840. 800-238-4840. That's 800-238-4840.
Let's face it, every once in a while, we all need a little help. A call to the bullpen. Well, ladies and gentlemen, have I got a product for you. Rick Knucklecock here to tell you about an exciting new product called Spunk Lube. Yes, Spunk Lube, the all-water soluble lubricant that'll help you perform in the bedroom. Yes, Spunk Lube. You can use it to loosen pickle jars. Play a game of Hide the Pickle. Hide the Pickle. Use it to grease your ball bearings. Do you have a squeaky back door? Squeaky door. Need to glaze a ham? Or how about frost a donut? Frosted donut. Yes, Spunk Lube. And boy, do I have an offer for you. If you call now and mention RadioVegas.rocks and order 3 jars of Spunk Lube, you get 2 for free. They often say 2's a crowd, but 3's a party. Spunk Lube. Visit us at spunklube.com.
Let's talk about that a little bit more. So during the break, you're talking about, by the way, this is Greasy Conversation, the talk show on RadioVegas.rocks. Greasy Conversation, Google it any way you like and pile yourself in and check it out on the YouTube too. Ring our bell for a second. Take a look at these galaxies with us. Take a look at these galaxies with us. Let's say that confidently without my last breath action. But I was really stoked about what you were saying about how you've got like an anti-addictive personality.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like being, it reminds me of a contrarian. You're just like, oh, something's too cool for everybody else. It's like, my mom was like that, oddly enough. It was cool raising.
It's not that I think that it's like trying to, like, I don't think of it being too cool. I just, I've always been paranoid of doing anything too much. Like, I'm a jack of all trades and a master of none.
Yeah,
I like
can
to
relate
start
to that.
doing like just things, but the second I feel like I'm spending too much time on that, I start wondering what else I could be spending time on or what I'm missing out on. So and my like friends when I grew up, I almost like I'd say 8 out of 10 of them ended up having really addictive like drinking problems or drug problems or stuff like that, and some of them even got addicted to like video games really bad and it crashed their life. So. Like World of Warcraft when that came out, like so, I'd really started like realizing that the more control you have over that, the better it is, and you also can do more things and have more stories to tell. And people ask like somebody that does the same thing over and over and over, what's new? If you've talked to them in the last month or 2 months, they don't have anything else to talk to you about. But when you come to my bar, and I work at a bartender over there, so people ask me.
What was the place that I forgot?
It's Nataya's Secret Kitchen. It's on Lake Mead and Rampart. I'm there Monday through Friday. So I got I'm at the bar if anybody ever wants to come drink and have some really good Thai food and talk with us.
Nataya's with an N, right?
Yep.
Just making sure we're
I always just have something fun to talk about with my guests, like, and then my other employees are like, "How do you, bullshit people?" Oh, sorry. How do you, yeah?
Don't
so, but yeah,
it's an internet broadcast.
Oh, yeah,
so you're cool with that.
But yeah, I tell them all the time. I'm like, I just tell them what's actually going on in my life, and I try to make sure that I keep doing exciting things. So I think and my ex-wife, she became an alcoholic too, so she does. There's just a lot of benefits to not having an addictive personality. You can go out and do fun things with people, and then wash your hands of it.
Yeah. I'm in my second wife. I'm in the having an ex-wife club.
Ex-wife club.
Totally. Sometimes it takes a couple tries.
Yeah. I'm working on the next one. The next ex-wife. I still have to marry her first.
Well, first you just have to like break her will. You can't count it happening in the opposite order.
She's up that alley. I'm just like, if you want the paper, I'll give you the paper. But just so you know, I've been divorced before, and it's 10 times more expensive than the wedding.
Damn.
So it's good to take your time. Test the waters a minute, but I mean, if you spend I feel like that best friend rule is it. Like if it's someone that you would kick it with all the time as a buddy anyway, then that's the test.
Well, my ex-wife and I were actually very good friends, and best friend kind of thing was why we, got together and everything. But
I'm not saying that works every time.
We were better off and we're really good friends now, even though we don't.
Oh, sick.
But so like we have a really great relationship. But when we were together, it wasn't really the best thing for us. We have a kid together. We love our kid. We're good people together. But together it was kind of more toxic than anything.
Yeah.
But we still have we have personality, great humor together. Like we always, when we're around each other, it's always laughter and good times. But much better that there's no complications with the relationship behind it. So I'd say sometimes it is better to just be friends with people.
Well, for sure, because you remind me of something else in that I have great friends that I love as friends, but I wouldn't be business partners with them.
Oh, yeah,
or
definitely.
roommates.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I guess that friend thing in a relationship is only like a one-factor deal where, like, really, to marry someone, you should be a good roommate too.
Yeah.
And also a business partner. To be married with someone that you wouldn't have as a business partner sounds terrifying to me.
I love you with limits.
There's so much business that happens in my marriage, at least.
Right.
It's like a small business.
Definitely. You have to make mutual decisions together.
Yeah, and trust each other's judgment and trust them in their departments.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a thing. And like balancing that and making sure that it's fair is a lot like a business partnership.
That's very true. That's what relationships should be. It should be equal. Otherwise, like you got the people that are, the breadwinners, and it is a business still, but you got a manager and you have an employee.
That might work for some people in a certain way, but it feels awkward to me.
Yeah, well, it's still a business. It's still a working business, but you have an employee who feels that they're taken advantage of, and you have a manager who thinks he has all the power, and then a relationship that usually doesn't go so well.
Yeah, there's what is that? Imbalance.
Yeah.
Yeah,
or you can have like best friends until you lend someone like $500 or something,
Right, and then
and
all
then
of a sudden
and then all of a sudden and there's that rule that people say they're like never lend your friends an amount of money that you wouldn't be okay with just giving them. Like if you have a friend and they're like, I need to borrow this amount of money, and like if they didn't, whatever you believe about their ability to pay it back or their intention. I mean, they could fully intend to pay it back and shit happens, whatever. But if you're like, lending them that money and not getting it back would like ruin the friendship, don't lend them the money.
Yeah, it's like same thing with like gambling. I have the same rule. I won't ever go to the casino to gamble money that I'm not okay with losing.
Yeah, totally.
And that's the thing.
It's
a friendship gamble. I'm gonna give you this money. It's a gamble. I might get it back.
Yeah, but if you're okay with that, like if they pay you back, like great, or they pay you back part of it, like fantastic. But you can lend it with them with the intent to like they're gonna pay it back, and if they don't, you can still be friends. If you can still be friends with them, then like
I always like that. Sometimes my friends in the past have been pretty clever with how they pay you stuff back. Like they pay you back like, oh yeah, well I bought you dinner for this. It's like I buy you dinner all the time.
Yeah.
So how come because now you owe me money, you buy me dinner?
Every transaction now is like goes toward the payment.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, well I'm not making any transactions with you for the rest
until it's paid back.
Yeah.
You gotta take me out to dinner another 15 times.
I didn't know how this is how it worked. Otherwise, all those times I took you out to dinner, I'm just gonna tally on to what you gotta pay back now too.
Right.
Man, where are these friends at that take friends to dinner? I just do it Dutch.
I know.
I have to say, Crazy Jay is the one friend that like I swap meals with a lot.
Yeah.
And I would also say that he's more generous than me on the feedings.
I'm a generous friend, so if you guys want to eat, I love karma. I do nice things for people because it comes back to you.
Everyone else, it's more. I mean, Greg and I have swapped back and forth some little things and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Otherwise, it's maybe what it is. I don't go and eat with people enough at all ever.
Yeah,
because I'm like, I bet you it's just Dutch all the time. I'm like, no, when's the last time I ate a meal with one of my friends like at all ever? I just don't do this. It's a hole in my life probably. But I've been making cool gadgets. Check out my Instagram.
Yeah, right.
I've been doing sick introverted stuff for also doing this extroverted action. And I've made for you folks a gallery. And my Instagram is, there's a lot of plugs, I know, but this is seriously cool. If you check out Woz Supposedly on Instagram, or just go to woz.lol, WOZ.lol. That's recently been revamped for the business side of this entertainment enterprise that you're witnessing right now. There's things I build for people, electronic-y stuff for art, where arts and electronics meet, whether it's LEDs or sensors for interactive music. That's the thing. And I guess I was just going to plug that. And then I was going to segue it to some other thing, but that's how that
Let's
goes.
jump on. We got some. I got some.
We're running out of time.
Funny news stories. I know.
So much good news.
So I just found this. It's just pretty funny. It happened in Florida, and it's just this video of apparently this dude's dog hopped in the car, I guess while it was like parked and still running.
Florida.
And
Yeah,
then
of
the
course it's
dog,
Florida.
and then the dog hit the somehow put the car into reverse, and because it was parked on a cul-de-sac, so the car just was like driving around in reverse with a dog in it for like an hour.
For nearly an hour. This is so great.
Yeah.
This is why I own a cat.
Right? You know what I mean? Like,
Oh,
yeah, dogs
man.
be hijacking cars and shit.
Cats just try to kill you on the stairs, which
Yeah,
I can
or
deal with
anywhere.
that.
Yeah.
I love that this starts with a vehicle commercial.
Oh yeah.
Oh, of course.
Brought
yeah.
to you by.
Oh man.
The car that won't get stolen by a dog.
When Dell and Intel's ad are teaming up to get in front of the ad that's playing at the front of your video, you don't have a real
You know you're in trouble.
It's gonna be like,
media experience going on. This is the look at other media outlets ads show, you guys. Get ready.
it's gonna be brought to you by Ford, which stands for 4R Reckless Dogs.
All right. Fox 5, local Las Vegas, bringing it with the heat. Maybe it's living in Las Vegas, but I know there's a lot of stigma for and against Fox News, and we're not aligning either direction on that, except when our local Fox reporters bring the weird stuff so good.
Yeah, well, I think local Fox channels generally, that's like the major Fox outlet that people usually have issues with.
I'm just saying, this happened all out in Florida, and it was news I needed to see. I needed to see this car drive backwards with the dog.
Again, driving better than most Las Vegas people.
Right? That's why it's news. They're like, man,
Yeah.
someone get this dog a license.
So wait, how did the accelerator get stuck down?
I'm not sure. It might just be like whatever the...
Because the dog looks like he's like in the back seat.
Yeah.
Oh, I get what you're saying, because it could coast.
Yeah, it's just cruising. Because, you know, like if you happen to drive but your foot's off the gas, you're still going to go like whatever point, however miles per hour, whatever it is.
Crawling.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just crawling.
This is where we should have had the rats driving thing.
Yeah, I know. I just remembered. I remembered that I threw this on there.
Thank goodness,
yesterday.
because we're having a theme of animals driving.
Right,
This
it just
episode
fits
from the beginning.
perfectly into it.
I feel like I'm having a good episode, in spite
yeah.
of my little diatribes there.
Only
about
you are.
Check out my shit.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
great. I hope
That's
I
not
made
a
it worth it.
McDonald's reference either. We're not
Speaking
plugging.
of
We're not
addictions.
plugging. Yeah.
Speaking of addictions, I have a problem with.
All right, so...
All right, so we're in chug territory.
Oh, yeah.
We've got so many fun ones.
All right, this is another one I found, which might be common knowledge, or at least the fact that we were lied to about food growing up, but you know that a glass of orange juice as part of a complete breakfast or part of a nutritious breakfast, actually orange juice is pretty sugary, not all that healthy for you.
Yeah, acid.
And this article just makes a point that, you know, while we were told that the actual nutritional profile of a 12-ounce glass of orange juice.
That's 153 calories.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I mean, I think that they lie about all of the breakfast stuff. Like, I mean, it really, even milk. Like, everyone, they say
milk is silly.
Everyone's
Yeah.
like, you're lactose intolerant. No, actually, you're just not supposed to be drinking a baby cow's
milk. Yeah.
morning dessert or morning breakfast. It's not good for bones.
But man, it's really great in candy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like milk as a treat is so good, but as a staple, I don't get it.
Yeah, no, it's just
Like I love dairy, anything, cheese.
well, even like the food pyramid,
The
which
food
was
pyramid
like
is a
totally
The pyramid.
Yeah.
It's a pyramid scheme.
It was.
Yeah, it was. And what was it? It was like lobbied by
I mean, it was
agriculture
entirely
companies.
all the agricultural corporations came together for that, for what they could make.
Yeah,
the
they
most money
basically
on.
created it and then just
Yeah.
told Congress they're like, hey,
Push
this is what you should have kids eat every day. Yeah, you need You need 12 servings of bread throughout the day. Yeah,
Right.
that's it. That's the
Load
ticket.
them up on cheap grains.
Yeah.
We've got
And
lots of.
we as humans totally took that pyramid and turned it upside down. And we were just like, oh, sugar is going to be the base of mine.
Yeah.
Cross.
Right.
Since I've been lied to anyway, let's
Right.
just start bad. Oh man, who gets wiped out though when there's too much sugar too early in the day? I have to nap it up extra.
Yeah.
It really gets me now.
Some people, like, instead of coffee, they just take those 5-hour energies or, like, all these crazy things.
No, I'd love 5-hour energy.
I mean,
There's no sugar
I
in it.
crash if I have anything that's, like, if it builds you up that fast.
Maybe it's how you respond to B vitamins, because I'm one of those people that B vitamins instead of caffeine, I definitely have less of a crash from.
Right.
But a 5-hour energy, I'll have a bottle throughout 2 days. If I have the whole bottle, yeah, it says no crash on it, but I'll definitely crash just from getting that ramped up. That's too much for
Do you
me.
guys know what Thrive is? The pills and patches and stuff?
Thrive?
It's basically just like every vitamin in the book. If you look at the back of it, it's just like B, 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 C, D, 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 all the way down.
Especially those Bs, though.
I take that every day, and I mean those are good. Like I don't
love
have to
bee
worry about
energy so
coffee.
much.
I don't get sick of that stuff. Doesn't make you crave candy. It helps with a lot of stuff. But those energy drinks, anything that's like builds you up like so fast and gets right into your bloodstream, and then like makes you all shaky. Like 2 or 3 hours later, you're taking a nap on the floor, like behind the desk at work. Leave me alone, boss.
I have major caffeine problems, man.
Like addiction to lots of it.
Oh yeah. I have like, and I know, and like
this dude loves him the caffeine.
I just love caffeine, man. It's like the perfect amount of stimulant for me.
I had a caffeine addiction when I was younger, when my mom used to just keep buying Dr. Pepper, and as a kid, you just drink whatever your parents bring in.
Yep.
And next thing you know, you're shaking when you what, and then you have one, you stop shaking, you're like, there might be a problem here. I am too young for this kind of stress.
Or as a kid, I had like, I don't know if it was sugar and caffeine, but my I like withdrawal. I'd go visit my parents in New York in the summer, and they just drink soda constantly, just Pepsi constantly, man. And so as a kid, I would drink like 3 of the big gulps or the big slams, which is like a liter. I'd drink 3 of those a day as a kid, man. And then one day I didn't drink when I was just like paralyzed from a fucking migraine.
Yeah.
Which I'd never experienced before. It was just like
caffeine. One of the main ingredients in like Tylenol or something that helps you with headaches is caffeine.
Oh,
yeah.
So like when you're dependent on it and then you're out of it, all of a sudden everything sucks.
I want to say it's Excedrin or one of those uses caffeine for migraines for sure.
Yeah, medicine. Like a lot of these things that we drink an abundance were originally made in small doses for medicine, like gin and tonic and stuff like that. Like,
well, you take something that works great to cure a thing, and it gives you that thing if you don't have the thing.
Right? And like the flus.
B vitamins, though, I tell you, for me, 5-hour energy, little nips. Just have a little bottle in my pocket, just take little nips throughout the day. Just span the bottle out over 2 days. That's my way. It's just microdosing vitamin B. Basically,
you're doing it over 2 days. It's 2.5-hour energy, or
yeah. You don't want to use all 5 hours right away.
Right away, yeah.
I just take little 15-minute, half-hour nips off of that 5 hours in there. I get like 10 doses.
That seems like a superpower.
The math checks out. Also, Zip Fizz. It's not just the sponsor, and there's actually a legal obligation that I have to mention that they're a sponsor before I plug them. But I love them anyway. Zip Fizz. I toss that in a drink. I have this thing called a kablaminoid, where you take Diet Coke and put Zip Fizz in it, and you don't do it a lot.
That
because
honestly
it's really
sounds like
significant.
Something you do in the bathroom, a kablaminoid.
Yeah, it makes you do something in the bathroom if you're not ready.
Bet.
It really starts the day off.
This is where you came up with the idea, the name.
Oh yeah. So you have a kablaminoid. That's something you want to nip on too. That's something you want to carry around. If you can like have a beverage with you as you go about, that's one for that. You don't just chug a kablaminoid. You'll cough like you won't have enough liquid for all the suspended particles that rushing into you and snapping you up your.
You got to create a commercial for this and pretty much lead with how you just said it. Kablaminoid.
Yeah.
Take in small doses. You'll die if you don't.
Don't have it a lot.
Like it's like the commercial at the very end where they do like all the medicine, like they make it sound great, and then like at the very end they have that fast talk.
They speed up like 3x. Yeah. It's like, oh, you may die.
Do not take it pregnant.
It hardens the uvula.
Oh god.
Oh man.
For her pleasure.
Now
Yeah.
imagine your uvula. That's your throat dangle ball. That thing getting crusty, getting that stiffening that up.
I'd rather not.
Yeah.
Like a porous stone.
I'll look at
On
that
that
in the,
note.
I'm gonna look at that in the mirror.
All right. What did I just had it? Just had where I was going. Where was I going?
That dramatic war theme over like, what was that? Where's that?
Pretty sure the last thing I heard was uvula.
Oh yeah, this dude. All right.
It's a funny combination.
This dude, our good buddy Ted Pelkey from Westford, Vermont.
Look him up.
He
He
paid $4,000 to get a giant statue of a hand flipping the middle finger so he could give his whole town the middle finger. Apparently there's just some issues. He wants to like build a garage and they're not letting him build a garage.
Honestly, that's like the only thing I've heard about Vermont in my entire life. So it's probably something that has to do with that too.
Right.
Like this
Is it
place
just-
is just so shitty that we don't talk about it. So it
Yeah.
just deserves a middle finger. Sorry if there's anybody out there from Vermont listening in. We love you. But
Right. Well, it's only from his town. Maybe the people in his town are shitty, but yeah, it's
Oh,
just
that's nice.
like he just gets so fed up. He just was like, "Fuck everyone."
There's two little lamps below the giant middle finger statue shining up at
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
It's up on a high pole, and it's aimed at Vermont, at this neighborhood.
Yeah, his town of Westford.
I would love to be.
Is that even like illegal though? Like, is that something like that's a freedom of expression still, right?
It is not illegal.
It's not.
Not at all. And even by the town statutes, they have signs, laws against signage. But since it's a statue and not any kind of sign, it's right along.
So if he puts any words on that, then he's screwed.
Correct. $4,000 this cost him. I would love to be the artist that got this gig. Right? It probably all went to materials. I mean, that metal pole and like the framework for that and the lighting, you have to get power to it. $4,000 seems like kind of a good deal.
Yeah, it seems pretty large. I mean, you can see on the ladder when someone's like, they're erecting it for the first time. I mean, it looks to be probably like 6 feet tall almost. So.
We're judging the
The
economic value of this.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good deal.
It's a good investment.
You
yeah,
think,
no, it's not a
you
good
think
deal.
that he modeled his own hand? He's like,
Oh, yeah. Oh, you better
I want
believe
it to
it.
be just my hand.
Yeah.
Exact everything, same color, same knuckle size, everything.
Yeah, well, if you're going to spend $4,000 on a giant statue of giving your town the middle finger, it better be after your own goddamn hand. You got to let them know it's from you.
Some like pro-right activist is gonna get up there and just put the second finger up and make it a giant peace sign. This is my neighborhood.
This hand, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm almost sure that this is Phil Collins' hand.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, it probably is.
All statues this year must resemble Phil Collins.
Yeah.
That's written in the universe.
Right. All right, should we do our last little Billy Bob?
Yeah,
Around Bill
quick-
Preston Esquires.
Quick little Preston Esquire payment. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Hey, listen up, guys. I'm here to tell you about Ball Wash. That's right. Ball Wash wants you to stay clean, smell great, and be fresh. Let's face it, it gets a little funky down there. Nobody likes it. So Ball Wash, it's all about quality grooming products for men that work hard, play harder, and care what they put on their body. Ball Wash, Sack Spray, and Nut Rub are the ultimate trio to keep your package in perfect condition. I gotta tell you, I was skeptical at first, but I tried the Ball Wash, for your nuts, butt, and body with activated charcoal, and it is a feeling like no other. But it's cool, because they've also got the sack spray. That's right, they don't disguise what it is. It's definitely for the sack, and it's awesome because it neutralizes odor and irritation. We know it gets a little hot and gummy down there. It's disgusting, right? We're disgusting. And they've also got the Nut Rub. You gotta love the Nut Rub. Ballwash.com is where you're gonna want to go. You're gonna want to enter the coupon code Radio Vegas. You're gonna get 15% off. Gotta check them out, guys. It is totally worth it. Get Ball Wash today. Go to ballwash.com. Coupon code, remember it, Radio Vegas, and you're gonna get 15% off.
Do you want to pay more for a new car or new home or less? Yeah! Do you want to pay higher interest rates on your credit cards or even to refinance student loan debt or less? Yeah! The secret to paying less on everything is a better credit score. Is your credit score less than 700? Do you even know? Well, now at the same time, you can learn exactly what your credit score is and learn how to make it better. And when you call our special credit repair hotline, you'll speak to an expert that will tell you simple steps to start improving your credit score. And the call and consultation are free. That's free. I'm telling you, the secret to paying less is a better credit score, and you can fix it right now. So please make this free call and change your life.
877-857-1658. 877-857-1658. That's 877-857-1658.
Hey, Radio Vegas Rocks listeners. It's your favorite troublemaker, Sober Sal from the Not Playing Stupid podcast. I'm headed to Summer Meltdown this weekend to partay. And do you think this degenerate has time to sober up or take a shower to that 4-day music festival? No, ain't gonna happen. The cool thing's out on YouTube. I got Dude Wipes. Dude Wipes aren't your typical ass wipes. Dude Wipes are made from plant-based fibers and are actually certified as flushable. Not only are Dude Wipes alcohol fragrance-free, they're also lined with aloe and vitamin E to ensure your anus isn't so heinous. So go to dudeproducts.com and use checkout code SHARTWEEK and you'll receive additional 15% off your entire order. Someone has to take care of your ass. It might as well be you.
Come on, dude, take it to the hole.
The Rockin' Comedy Show with Crazy J.
Our special guest here, the one and only, Bobby Sleep.
You know, just listening to the opening, I just forgot how stupid the show was. I knew it was stupid, but I just forgot how stupid.
Well, we're here to remind you.
Yeah, I know. I've been reminded. Thank you.
The Rockin' Comedy Show.
That's right. The Devil's Onion Ring. That's what I learned that from the Rockin' Comedy Show. That's a recent episode. If you go to rockincomedyshow.com, look up that episode and have a good time, especially if you like euphemisms for the butthole. Anyway, we're back. The submarine of knowledge is here. I've got to switch over the camera things.
Yeah, so there's a new trend in Silicon Valley called dopamine fasting.
Oh yeah, this is click on the link for this one because this is super misnamed. There's all this controversy going on about this hip trend of dopamine fasting and people taking it too far in Silicon Valley, where they're just abstaining from anything they get any kind of like rise out of, when really the creator of it, who acknowledges it doesn't have the best name, talks about more like you should spend like family time and be social and just avoid stress. It's more like meditation.
Yeah, and like to, reducing your time on like social media and stuff like that is like compulsive triggering.
You're just giving into compulsive behavior and habits.
Yeah. So it's like, don't do things that are trigger your brain's reward system like constantly.
It's more like habit fasting because other experts in this article have talked about how you can't expect your brain to just not release dopamine when you're pleased by something. It's like part of the pathway of the data even going through of you perceiving that that's even something that you could be pleased by.
We'll be drones if we didn't have that effect.
Yeah, you can't get up in front of that.
Yeah.
It's like you have to blindfold yourself. So you might as well enjoy what there is to enjoy and just avoid the compulsive behavior. And that was what the intention of this. But now that you've heard it here, you're going to see people bumping into versions of this that are taken way too far.
Yeah, like there's people who are just like avoiding conversations with people.
Yeah, it's just an excuse to be a hermit.
That makes sense though, but like there's a really big thing on how people today are on their phones all the time, and every time they get a text message and every time they get like some notification, it drips dopamine. So we're also saying that when we give cell phones to kids, we're giving them drugs, and then they get addicted to that feeling. So but then when they have a conversation with the person in real life, they can't keep it going because the second it hits that dead zone, they feel like something's wrong because they're not getting their fix. So then they panic, and then they're like, okay, and then their fight or flight instinct kicks in, and then they're like, I just got to run away.
I wish notifications gave me dopamine. They give me cortisol. I'm saying I did that stress hormone every time my phone tries to reach me for anything.
I'm super avoidant about like messages and stuff, and I'm like, oh god,
Yeah,
I just want it to go away right away.
Let's cortisol fast, everybody.
Yeah,
you guys be a good study for that. Like,
if I could cortisol fast, like I'd be fucking doing it already. Shit, man, just like there's got to be like a cortisol vacuum. You can just like suck it out. Maybe.
I'm always on silent. Sometimes I set my phone down and I do something in another room for 20 minutes. And it's weird to me that this can be controversial with some people.
Yeah, then
It's
a lot
like-
of people are like, you don't care about my life. Like, what if something bad happened to me? I'm like, call 911. Don't call me.
Right, yeah.
Like, what am I gonna
me
do?
first? Why, like,
They're like, what if I got robbed? Still.
Yeah.
call-
I'm not going to be able to stop compulsively checking my phone at least every hour or two. That should be good enough. I'm not an ambulance driver.
Right.
You know, what
I'm
do
not
you...
Batman. You don't need to look.
I don't want to live a life with responsibilities that require my attention sooner than every hour or two. Which sounds really like
respectable in my
eyes.
eyes.
That doesn't sound too crazy of an ask when you say it out loud like that, but that's not a situation most people live in. And I understand kids are one thing. I'd want to be like quick access for kids if I had them, but since I don't, like,
it's just this instant gratification world that everybody I don't think it's a good thing, because it's like if a plane crashes in China and we know about it instantly on our phone, when we feel like that just happened in our backyard. And it's not a good thing, because if you think about it, in the past they used to have newspapers. It would they'd have to get printed, and then it would take a little bit to get to you. By the time you read it, you're like, oh, well, that happened like a couple days ago. It doesn't hit you like, oh my god. So that checking your phone thing all the time, it builds a bad habit for you. People start thinking the world's darker than it is, because the news always says bad stuff.
Oh yeah.
And if you're always checking it, you're like, oh my god, another bad story.
Terrible
every
stuff
5
is
minutes.
happening all the time.
All the time.
Yeah, like constantly. There's terrible. Well, yeah, there's a lot of fucking people on the planet.
Yeah. And if you
Like,
put your phone down for a minute, you start looking around at like the nature, or like a dog or something, like it's all happy, but the second you pick it up, you're like, anthrax? What? Get inside, kids. Like,
Right.
it's
Or the real hack that I wish I could do more regularly, which is like, close that, put the moon on, and use that same device to like look at some nature and look at some happy stuff, and just not look at notifications for a minute. That sounds impossible. It sounds hilarious that I even suggest this.
that should be an app.
Everyone just needs a second phone that's like your
Right.
happy phone.
Well,
Happy.
That no one has a number for. It's just Wi-Fi only.
There should be an app that like makes you look at happy images a certain amount of time throughout the day, or you can't access your phone, which
unlock
could be
it.
really bad if you need to call 911. But
you
I
have to
guess
like scroll through like just 15
Positive.
images of just like puppies or kittens or something.
and inspirational quotes. Obviously, there'll be a little button on the bottom like that you can press to call 911 or something, because that would probably be the only controversial issue with that. But I could see that being an actual thing. Like, I can't get to this text message until I read 5 inspirational quotes written by really sad ladies.
Stare into this pony's eyes
Yeah.
for 10 uninterrupted seconds, verified by the webcam to unlock your phone.
Facial recognition. That was what I was going to say. You have to make facial recognition, eye contact for a certain amount of time. The pony will know if you're lying.
Yeah. And the more you break eye contact and can't unlock your phone, the fluffier the pony gets to make it easier on you. Like, you can't break eye contact with this fluffy pony.
And then they could have like a little kitten on there that you're staring at, and your phone keeps vibrating as if it's like purring and stuff. in your
Oh,
hand.
man.
See,
nice.
Dude,
we're-
cuteness.
This is,
Got the
by the way,
kitten
trademarked.
situation. Yeah.
Joshua Burns, you can't take this one.
Maximum cuteness.
The kitten petting app. Is that
Note to self: create app.
haptic feedback purring mechanism.
Oh man.
At the right
Too
hertz.
great.
At the right hertz level too.
Yeah, these new phone vibrators are supposed to have a lot of granularity to their little vibrating feedback. I think we might be close to kitten territory.
It
Should be looked into.
I never can hear the word vibrator without pausing. Bad adult talk. Okay.
No, we've talked enough about those before too, especially with all the stuff about Florida.
All right, and let's see.
We're at the tail end now, folks. It's time
Yeah.
for News Chug.
So this one, this sounds familiar. I think we may have covered this, but it's still interesting. Technology still advancing. These scientists are using E. coli bacteria to make psilocybin.
Yeah,
instead of just growing mushrooms.
This bacteria is growing the chemical rather than getting it from a psilocybin mushroom.
Yeah, they've just basically.
That's weird.
Yeah, they just modified some E. coli bacteria so that it, as waste, it produces psilocybin, and it produces it pretty quickly, so you can get a decent amount because they're starting to do a lot of psychological testing, I guess, because psilocybin can be helpful for like PTSD. Just a lot of it can kind of reset your brain.
Well, speaking of cult things that work really well for some people and don't for others, there's been tests on psilocybin, there's been tests on Special K, tests on ayahuasca, all for post-traumatic stress and to help people break free of addictions. And there's going to be more and more stories about and anecdotes, these things not working for people. There's going to be horror stories, but I hope that people can see past that and understand that every psych med is like that too, where it's not a one-size-fits-all situation. So one of these will work great for one troubled veteran, and the other one won't work so great for this other post-car crash traumatized housewife. People are different and they go through different things, and chemicals work differently on different people. But what does work great for everyone, a product that I think is uniquely one-size-fits-all. Well, first, would you like to smell like a video game? I think most people would.
Oh, yeah.
Like the video games of your fantasy, or like just like a warm plastic. Like when you get that.
Oh, my God.
Just before you get that red ring of death, when there's like dust and Chinese factory scents just wafting into your living room. That's the kind of smell I'm looking for in a body wash. And Australian brand Lynx has brought this to us in Xbox branded body spray and
body
bath
wash
products. Yeah.
It looks suspiciously kind of like Axe.
Yeah.
Very much like Axe.
I'm sure it's to a target market that is similar.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have a problem with a beautiful woman or a beloved relative or a bank teller smelling like that hot plastic kind of scent.
So this is a real thing.
Yeah.
Oh, here's why. It's Axe's parent company, Unilever. And then Lynx is under that parent company. So
they
that
should have just called it
makes
Axebox.
sense.
Axebox.
Dude, you know what I mean? This fucking guy. Yo, they're really dropping the ball on this, man. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, shit, they should just like drop a check to Josh right now. Shit, man. Like that's way better than what do they lift your game? I don't
Lift your game.
It's like the tagline, I guess. I don't know.
Like
smells like
carpet
success. It's like that thing. Oh, you really would just want to radiate nerd. You're like, they're gonna love me at GameStop.
Or like,
today.
what does it smell like? Does it smell like a dude who's been like trapped in has trapped himself in his room and like just played World of Warcraft for like
if
the
that's
whole
what
week?
it smells like, you don't need a body wash or an Axing. You already got that natural.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Most likely, whoever's buying this already smells the way that this is gonna make you smell.
It complements the smell of Doritos and Gatorade. It doesn't mask these smells.
Mountain
It
Dew.
forms a bouquet with Mountain Dew and cheese puffs.
And they even got like the Baja
Yeah.
Baja Blast variation.
That's what I was thinking.
It's
too.
Baja adjacent.
If they don't, then they're going out of business. It's kind
It doesn't just make you smell like smells that you have. It forms a bouquet of associated smells that go along well with 7-Eleven products.
And you get your extra trading car smells too, and they're like your Magic Gathering buddies will be like, man, he brought his A game today.
Man, you smell like
He's not playing around today.
You smell like frags.
But yeah, back to the other thing though, you were saying like the testing of drugs. I wonder how many people are like actively trying to figure out where they could go be the tester of the new psilocybin stuff, and like they want to be that guinea pig.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I would be interested in it just to see, because it's still in a clinical setting. So even if you're getting dosed, like you're gonna be in a room, you'll be comfortable, but there's gonna be either a doctor or a psychiatrist there with you, monitoring you and taking notes. So it's not like
just like a druggy deal.
Yeah.
Imagine though, this is gonna be the funny part about this is like the drug dealers are gonna be like giving shrooms to people, and they're gonna be, is that normal stuff? Is that E. coli?
Yeah, you got that the E. coli brood.
This is the E. coli. It's the good stuff.
Right.
Oh man, Mikey in the chat saying, I want to smell like Covenant blood.
Covenant blood.
Oh yeah. Halo.
Master Chief. Probably that thing probably makes you smell like the inside of Master Chief's armor.
Oh
Yeah.
dude.
Which just has the smell.
Some
Awesome.
girls love it. Some girls love it. Some
Yeah.
guys love it too.
I don't like people smell. I like people to smell like plastic.
Yeah.
Like, I like my ladies to smell like just
Like that brand new Xbox.
like an aisle of a grocery store.
Oh.
That's how I like my women to smell. You know what I'm saying?
The house cleaning aisle too.
What aisle of the grocery store do
Yeah.
you like your significant other to smell like? Let us know in the chat.
I want to smell like the mops.
Now, as
The
much
produce
as we,
section.
Produce section.
Yeah.
That you like them healthy vegetable bitches.
Yeah, with a fine like mist.
Yeah.
Just after a fresh mist.
All right, that's actually hot. I was thinking, as much as I'm not into sugar all the time, eating it, that bakery smell on a lady.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually, I think that's actually a thing. I've know that like they have imitation smells, and you can do that. I want to smell like a fresh out of the kitchen. It's for
Yeah.
the women that want to pretend they're a housewife and they know how to cook. Like they just
Yeah.
spray it on themselves. Honey, I didn't do anything today, but
I got
I'm
that.
gonna fool your senses.
I got that. I've been cooking a pot roast all day.
Yeah.
Meaty smells.
It's called Grandma's
I'm
Kitchen.
talking about that bunt cake bitch.
Right.
So we got app ideas, and we have new perfumes
New
and
fragrances.
colognes.
Hell yeah.
So many takeaways. If you can't make money from this show, then you need to tell more of your friends about the show.
Yeah.
And
Tell
so
your
you
smart
are.
ones.
How many ways can we make this a pyramid scheme? As a
Yeah.
podcast?
All right. So real quick, I got this one. Imagine that you're having a nice vacation and you go on a paraglider journey, and as soon as you land, you happen to land right next to a kangaroo, and the first thing that kangaroo does is just deck your ass.
Beat the hell out of you.
Yeah, just as soon as you land, you just see a kangaroo fist coming right at you.
So kangaroos punch. I've heard about
Yeah.
kangaroo boxing.
They're fighters.
Yeah,
Imagine
they're
what that
ferocious,
kangaroo
man.
must have thought. Like it's like almost like you see an alien or something just land in front of you. It freaks you out too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden this human just comes down out of the sky and he's like, whoa, whoa.
Is it this little fella, or is it just the angle that makes this fella look little?
Yeah, I think he's still like landing. He's not all the way on the ground. Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
kangaroos aren't like super.
Dang, the claws though.
Yeah, those things are scary, man.
Yeah.
I've seen them hurt dogs on the internet and stuff.
Yeah, I wouldn't fuck with a kangaroo, man. They'll tear your ass up.
We're doing it. We're about to land. We're gliding down. Wow, this is pretty peaceful. I would avoid. See, I don't see any kangaroos as I'm parachuting down. Just landed on this thing. No. Oh, jeez! As soon as the ruse appeared, it started buffering for a second.
Oh
man,
my
those
God,
claws.
it's-
Kick. Activate the kick. Which button is kick, you guys? Seriously though, this kangaroo was like waist height. I feel like I could have taken him. This guy.
It had a bad
they're still-
parachuting experience or something in its past.
Yeah.
Not again. You're not taking me.
Should have given it a knee. If this happens to you, show that kangaroo the knee.
But then you might piss it off, and then it'll get that kangaroo strength.
Bring
even
it.
if they're smaller than a human. I mean, they have some powerful legs with some big ass claws, and I wouldn't want them.
And their tail, man, that tail is all muscle.
Muscle, yeah.
There was 2 or 3 of them too. They could.
They
herd
always
up.
have a pack.
Yeah.
There's never if you see one kangaroo, you just don't see the others. Get more afraid of only seeing one kangaroo because the other ones are sneaking up behind you.
Right.
Like ants.
About to get that fucking wallet.
Yeah.
Taking that lunch money.
And it's like the wallet bees.
Oh my gosh! Do we have one
Damn.
more quick one?
I did want to take a look at these. This photographer's been just the way he captures these like flocks of birds.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, they just look really, really badass.
So this is really worth checking on. Again, you can go to greasyconversation.com, click on this article, and get a link to these news articles that we're checking out.
Whoa.
Or also YouTube, Greasy Conversation. Check it out. This is a murmuration of birds that this Chinese photographer
His name
caught.
is Xavi Bao, Xavi, so I'm probably butchering that.
shout out for the international art. And these images are, I think there's two images, one that's a regular exposure time and one that's a very long exposure time.
Yeah, yeah.
And that he's cutting out in Photoshop the short exposure time like mountains and scenery.
Yeah.
So the birds, there look like a million copies of birds along the path that they travel.
It's like a frame per second. They just keep stacking on top of each other.
Yeah, and
well, that one looks like the Grim Reapers and stuff. They got like scythe.
Some of them aren't blurred to where you see like copies of the wings too. This one's blurred, but in that one it looks like a streak of bird, a streak of black. But there was an earlier one here where you could see it looked like leaves with all the copies of the wings.
I like the first one. The very first one looks like a giant animal trying to eat something, like a eel or something.
Yeah. This one, all the copies of the wings look like some kind of leaf situation. It is eel-esque as well. Eel-esque. That's the word of the day.
Yeah. So the project is called Ornithographies. It's pretty clever there.
So I think that might be the final takeaway before we.
Yeah. Leave you on some art tip.
Yeah, once again, this has been Greasy Conversation. No one in your family or your close personal friends understands you the way that we do. Your only hope to find comfort and wholeness in life is to follow us and purchase our merch and stay tuned for the next Greasy Conversation. You want to move in and get free shoes and Kool-Aid, and don't trust the other people around you that aren't telling you what you want to hear the way that we are. We're your only hope for the rest of your life having meaning. It's completely within us.
Dude, this is life-changing.
Yes.
This is pure earth knowledge.
That's right.
This is
We're
hard talk.
We're the only ones with the pure knowledge of the earth. We alone contain this, and you won't be complete as a person without us. You want to tell your friends and family, and don't heed their warnings of cowardice. Cowardice, mind you. Only the brave dare join us into the future. And RadioVegas.rocks.
And I want to thank my friends too. Anybody that chimed in for to listen to this, and